Hello, Grapevine Mustangs. Welcome to the Coach DeBesse Show. How are we feeling tonight? Thank you so much for being here, for braving the weather, and making it out to ROCK N BREWS tonight. Can we give a hand for ROCK N BREWS? This is the third time that we have been here, and it has always been a fantastic experience. Well, we got a great show for you tonight. We got our DNA players that will be here. Also have moms of a couple of seniors that we'll have a chance to talk to as well. But before we get to that, let's bring in the man who the show is named after, Coach Bob DeBesse, who is here. And let's just kind of talk quickly where we're at right now in the season. It was a gauntlet of a schedule that continues on Friday, and it's an Argyle team ranked number 5 in the state for a reason.
Yeah, I think they're deserving of their ranking. I really do. I mean, after seeing them up close, obviously we had a lot of respect for them coming in, and knew what we were up against. They've been the most dominant team in our district this year, and obviously that didn't change on Friday night. So, once again, like I said last week, we're talking about the Timberview game. You can't start without giving them credit. You got to give them credit for executing the way they did. They were real sound schematically. I thought they were well coached. I thought their kids played with class. It's a hell of a football team. I expect them to make a pretty decent run in the playoffs. I'd be surprised if they didn't make a pretty decent run. Unbelievable size. Our guys can attest to that. I saw Miss Gormley had a picture of a still shot of shot at the line of scrimmage, and it's incredible how big those kids were, and that's kind of where it started for us. We kind of lost it at the line of scrimmage, really on both sides of the ball, and weren't able to establish anything in the run game. And once again, some explosive plays in the passing game, kind of get after us a little bit and put us behind the 8 ball. So, it's what we thought it was going to be as far as the quality of the competition, and we did the best that we could, and our kids fought their tails off, and we just came up pretty short.
What was the message to the team afterwards?
The message to the team immediately after was, we didn't meet Saturday morning, and we usually do meet Saturday morning. And I made the decision during the game that we were not going to meet Saturday morning, because as I watched the game and as I knew schematically what we were going to play this week, I knew that watching the Argyle game was going to do nothing but bring back negative memories, and I didn't want that. And so I made my decision during the game that it would be best for the players if they could get away and take a deep breath. And the last thing I told them was, we're doing this because we're not looking back. We got 1 week left. There's nothing we can do with what's behind us or about what's behind us. So we're not looking back. We have to for this show, but we're not looking back as a team. We're only looking forward. We got one opportunity left. Like I told them this morning, anybody, coaches and players, can fight the battle of 1 week. That was the message.
Well, we'll look forward here in just a second, but I do want to get to those DNA players if we can. There were 4 different players that were honored, I guess you could say, this week, and it's a senior and 3 juniors. So let's start with the senior. Let's start with Brady Boozer, who wins the Discipline DNA Award. Brady, congratulations on the award, the Discipline Award. Why do you feel like that was going to you here this week?
Just being disciplined in my practice. Early on in the season, I was missing a lot of tackles. Gosh. And so focusing on that and trying to minimize how many missed tackles I have, and it's improved each and every game.
I want to talk just about you as an athlete, because know that you're also a baseball player, committed to go play some baseball at the next level. How does baseball help football? Football help baseball, vice versa?
Football helps out baseball a lot, because every play, basically, if you mess up, the whole team can kind of crumble on your mistake. So it gives you the fight to never give up and kind of to go to the next play and look forward instead of behind you. So,
well, congratulations on winning the Discipline Award. Let's give it up for Brady Boozer. Tatum Evans, make your way up here. Tatum wins the Attitude Award. Another talk with you, Tatum. Congratulations on winning that award. And your coach talked to us last week, just kind of fighting through maybe some injuries, fighting through some bumps here and there. How do you feel like that attitude has been so important the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it definitely has. I mean, I kind of talked to Coach before the game, and it was kind of just that mentality of having an attitude where we're going to fight no matter what the score is, no matter our record, and, like play our hearts out.
And it looks like even when the game's getting down, it's already been decided that fight is still there. How important is that for you to continue to lay that foundation for the program?
Yeah, it's super important because, you never want to see guys giving up because, that just brings the whole morale of the team down. So I'm always trying to pick guys up and encourage them on the sideline.
Well, let's give it up for Tatum Evans. So he wins the Attitude DNA Award. Luke Gormley, come on up. Luke wins the Toughness Award, and yeah, Luke, we've talked quite a bit just about kind of how you're having maybe at times playing inside, outside, having to bounce all the way around. But for you, that toughness, where do you feel like you most personified that this week?
We went into this week. We knew it was going to be a great competition. We definitely was very competitive. And that's just how you get better, is playing good competition. So, love doing that. I went out and 2 games ago, I told the team, I was like, every time you line up in the line of scrimmage, I want you to think about our record. Cause everybody knows this isn't how we want the season to go. This isn't how we expected the season to go. And we have something to fight for. And, I think that's good for us to keep in mind.
Yeah, you obviously in your junior season going to be here next year. What is that foundation that you do want to lay, knowing that, hey, we've got another chance, at least you and 2 other guys that are here today have a chance next year to really do something special. So what is that foundation that you want to lay?
I'm excited for next year. I think it's great that we are blessed to have a young team. I think that I was talking to Coach Willie today and some of the other linebackers. We have a really young front 7 with Bradley out with an injury. We have Lucas stepping in, and for the past 4 games, we've had either sophomores or juniors playing in the D-line and the linebacker roles. So I think we'll just really be able to build on what we're working on right now for next year, and it'll give us an advantage for next year. So I'm excited for that.
Well, we're excited to see it on Friday and then see it next year as well. Let's give it up for Luke Gormley, everybody. Winning the Toughness Award. And then finally, Cooper Towery winning the Fight DNA Award. Congratulations, Cooper. And the Fight Award. That's a big one to win. Why do you feel like that one was yours this week?
Pretty much the same every week. You just keep fighting every play, no matter what position you're in or what they ask you to do. And, the outcome's not what we wanted, but
know that you want to finish the season strong. Obviously, a rivalry game coming up on Friday, but you heard Tatum speak, you heard Luke speak, thinking about how that group of guys, that core that is going to come back. Kind of the same question that we asked Luke. What is it that you want to lay what's the foundation? What do you want this group next year to be remembered for?
I think we'd rather be remembered for, instead of 0-10 or 0-9 or anything of our record, that we kept fighting no matter what our record was or what adversities we were brought to with.
Well, excited about the future with you guys, and let's give it up for Cooper Towery, who wins the Fight DNA Award this week. We got some good special guests that will be here, and we're going to have Coach Bob DeBesse introduce our guest for us.
Let me just say before we introduce our special guest, next Wednesday morning, Brady Boozer is going to be in the MAC, and he'll have his national signing date with Navarro College, okay? So it'd be great if be awesome if we could have some fan support for that. But just again, thanks to all these guys. We've had a little bit of a common theme this year. This is not their first rodeo, a lot of these guys. And like the juniors were talking about, that bodes well for the future. I mean, 3 of the 4 are not only outstanding players, outstanding people, but they're coming back, and that's great news for Grapevine. Special guest. This is a little different, but I thought it might be insightful. First off, we have Bergen Weir. Bergen, why don't you come up? And Thomas Powers, would you come up? Now, what you guys don't know is you're going to give your seats up to your moms when they come up here. But we're going to have Kristen Powers, Thomas's mom, Amy Weir, Bergen's mom, come up and talk about, let's give them a hand. Come up and talk about a mom's perspective on this being their son's last high school football game.
Well, when Coach asked if we would be available, I said we would, but we would be crying. So we're doing our best to hold it back. I will say, this is my 4th year as being a mom in the program. And what I've seen from my son and his friends and how they've grown, not only into really strong young men, but just their brotherhood and their friendship. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And so I know that Friday is going to be tough. It's going to be tough for us. It's going to be really tough for the boys. It's the last time they're putting their pads on. And that somebody said that to me last year, and it has stuck with me. And we're really proud of you. And thank you for picking me to be your mom. And a friend of mine who's a freshman mom who happens to be here today made a really good point. There will be no Team 106, 107, 108 without these guys on Team 105. So thank y'all, because your leadership has shown, and we really appreciate it, and what you're doing for the younger kids as well. I'm proud of you.
I just walked. Okay. Well, this is not my first kid to put through the football program. I have an older one as well. And so I have a little bit of perspective about letting them go into the next phase of life. It is really, really hard, but I have seen through letting the first one go how the brotherhood that they learn in football just really helps set them up for success in life. I've been watching this one play football since he was, 7. So yes, Friday is going to really, really be hard.
I want to know about just your relationship with the athlete, like on game day. What's the tradition? Are you real silent? Are y'all talking? Is there advice given? What's it like on game day with you and your son?
Well, in all my years of playing football, I don't give a lot of advice because I've never put on pads. But we do write notes to the boys on Thursday or on the day before game day and try to give encouragement and, truth and scripture over them so that they know that we're praying for them and that we're praying for their safety and for their success and for them to learn. But I do bring him lunch every Friday before his game day.
I'm not that good of a mom. I don't bring the lunch. His dad is a better dad than I am. So true, right? I will say that as a sub-varsity parent, I remember looking forward to the day that I was going to be able to go to Polish and Pray and do team dinner the night before a game, because I think it's really something that not every parent gets to experience, and definitely not every program or district supports. And I am grateful for that. And I hope they actually read the cards that we put in their locker. But we put a lot of thought and prayer behind it. And that's what's the best thing that we can do as a mom, is just to let them know that we are there behind them no matter what.
First of all, I feel bad because I feel like every question I ask is just trying to get you to cry. And I swear I'm not. I promise you I'm not. Right. But I know it's hard to maybe put a snapshot onto what this program means, but if you do have that one snapshot or that one moment when you think back, like what is the moment or the moments that are going to stand out to either one of you the most when you think back on your time with Grapevine?
My first Moms 101 is going to be my memory that I take with me forever, because it gave me the perspective that these coaches are pouring into our kids. It's not about being good football players. It's about coaching them and leading them to be really strong men. And at that moment I said, I want my kids to be part of this. And so that's always going to sit with my heart. And it's always my favorite night. I'm probably still going to show up even if I don't have a kid in the program, but that's not weird. It's fine.
If I had to think of one thing, when we walk down onto the field after the game to congratulate or to hug, whatever we're doing, especially this year, just seeing Bergen's position coach, Coach Hyde, like encouraging and giving a big hug. And I don't know, I think that what they've fed into these boys to become men has just been extraordinary. And like I said, having 2 kids go through, and that's 3 different head coaches that I've had boys play under. It's been the same for all those 8 years. And so it's just been really spectacular.
We'll end with this. Thinking just back on the program, what do you feel like is maybe the thing that you're going to miss the most? Maybe it is Mom 101, but what are the things that you're going to miss the most about maybe just the football season in general when it comes up next year?
We're trying really hard.
I know. And I
call you
sorry.
Oprah. Polish and pray is a big one. I do not take that for granted that we get to go on government land basically and pray for our kids. I'm going to miss my seats in the stands. I'm going to,
You're still getting them next
I know why there's lots of little Mustangs coming up that I'll come cheer for. I know my husband's going to miss Breakfast of Champions, just the traditions that are really firm. I'm going to miss tailgating with I've made my best friends through this program. And so anyway, your turn.
Thanks. I agree. I think where I got really emotional last year driving down 26 and seeing an empty stadium after we lost in that playoff game. And I thought, I need to really soak it in and be present next year. And so I've done my best. I'm not always great at it, but I think I'm going to miss everything that is the Friday night game. From tailgating, from watching our boys compete, from ringing our cowbells to going down on the field afterwards and either celebrating or just giving them a hug and telling them that we're proud of them. I mean, that's been something that I will always cherish.
Well, let's make some noise for Christian and Thomas Powers, as well as Amy and Bergen Ware. Thank y'all so much. And we'll bring Coach DeBesse up, and we'll run through a little bit of film.
This is in the first series of the game. Argyle took it down and eventually scored, but this is a really good job by 2 guys in the room right now. Tatum Evans up top at the defensive end spot and Luke Gormley down here at the bottom at the inside linebacker spot. They both escape blocks and make a real physical play down there close to the goal line. I think it was Luke was saying, we are playing some really young people, some people that probably aren't ready to play in the defensive line right now because of injuries. Hopefully Michael Utorka's back this week and we can go ahead and solidify that a little bit. But that's been a little bit tough. Great play by Linnell Randolph here. Linnell did not have a stellar game by any stretch, but this was a good play on his part. Okay. Good job of Luke Hecht. Cooper Towery coming in here in a bad mood, but that's not an easy play to stop. They do a really good job of running it. Their receivers are huge. It's hard to get off those blocks. So that's a nice job of not just stopping it, but getting a negative yardage play on a quick screen out there. Okay. This is good. I wanted to put this in to show, this is a well-coached team. I mean, this is a good scheme schematically right here. They just threw a now screen out here. Now they're going to pump it to the back. Okay. Which causes our guys to hesitate a little bit. Our safety gets out of whack and they run right by us right here. So, give them credit. Good scheme. They set it up pretty good with the screen earlier as well. Another lost yardage play as far as a running game is concerned. This is Cooper sneaking through and being physical. Cooper's Cooper's not the biggest, especially when you're talking about comparing him to that offensive line. But nobody plays harder. Nobody plays more physical than he does. I can promise you that. Tatum falling in on it as well. Let me see if this is this. Okay, look at that shot. Look at the center, the left guard, and the left tackle. They're all pretty big dudes. Right tackle. The only guy that doesn't quite fit is the right guard. He's the runt of the group. Okay, here's a play offensively, and once again for the second week in a row, it's Cooper Towery carrying the ball offensively. Okay, really good effort on his part. I'll show you from the end zone right here because you can see Argyle's defensive end tries to what we call spill the play. He tries to spill it, okay, by taking out our blockers right there. So that makes it tough for Cooper to find a gash in there in the C gap like he wanted to, and then he bounces outside, almost trips over Ian, but does a heck of a job getting positive part of yardage. He's been a really integral part of our offensive attack over the last couple of weeks. Okay, another good play in the running game. Okay, if you look at Tatum again, okay, you look at Thomas Powers down here being physical. Okay, setting the edge. You look at Brady Boozer stepping up, being ready to go. If Tatum doesn't make that play, Brady's ready to make the play right there because we're playing pretty good gap sound defense right there. But again, just take a look at the size of the left tackle right here. 6'10" is what he's listed as. There's a good shot of it right there. But look what Tatum does to him. Jacks him up. All right, so a little football 101 here. Okay, we got a blitz coming off both edges. Okay, Thomas is coming off the front side because the quarterback's opening to Thomas's side. Okay, and then we got a guy coming off the backside. The guy off the backside, when the quarterback turns his back to you, you're taught to run to the upfield shoulder so he can't roll out and we lose containment. Okay, you can't run to the near shoulder. You got to run to the upfield shoulder. So he can't, so you can fence him and you can force everything back to your help inside. So we got a problem here because we got a quarterback running on the loose. And then I'll draw your attention to our corner up there who is in man coverage. Man coverage. So when you're in man coverage, you don't care about what's going on. You don't care about what's going on with all the other 20 guys on the field. All you care about is what is your guy doing. That's called keeping your eyes on your luggage is what that's called. Keeping your eyes on your luggage. Well, look where his eyes are. His eyes are staring back at the quarterback. Well, that's not very good when you're in man coverage because now that guy's got a chance to beat you. So give him credit, but again, kind of shot ourselves in the foot on that one right there. All right, now this play is called 22 naked H sail. We were pretty good at the nakeds the other night, okay? Ian Hatton had a huge night just running this little flat route right here. Jalen Holmes did a really good job of progression reading. Ian did a really good job after the catch. This is a nice move in the open field. And again, those are pretty good football players he's making his moves on. Okay, so you're going to see that several times. You're going to see that several times before these highlights are done. Ian catching the ball in the flat off a misdirection. So this is the exact same play, basically the exact same action that Argyle just scored on. That I was talking about. Heck of a move right there in the open field. All right, get a little fumble here. Okay, drop back, good pass rush, flush him out of the pocket. Not only good pass rush, but nowhere to go. Okay, and I'll get it to this angle. You can see what happens right here. Quarterback doesn't protect the ball. He keeps it loose, and then one of those 6'10" long-armed linemen knocks the ball out right there. Okay, so that's the disadvantage of being tall and long right there. But then Cooper's Johnny on the spot right there. Okay, so defense gives our offense great field position right there inside the 25-yard line. Unfortunately, we missed a field goal, and so we weren't able to put any points on the board there, okay? Pretty good run right here by Julian. But the reason I really put this one on is I want you to watch our offensive line. This is very well blocked right here, okay? We kind of lose it a little bit at the right tackle, but from Spencer Williams to Mason Tatum to Bergen Weir to Taden Sneed all the way to the left tackle spot right there. This is a fantastic job of moving the front. And I'll show you from the end zone. Good job of Julian pressing to the front side, which is to the right of the screen, pressing to the play side, pressing. Then what he does is we call this riding the wave. He rides the wave until the wave bypasses, and then he sticks his foot in the ground and gets vertical. Okay, but that's a very well executed play by our offense and again, offensive line in particular against a good group. Okay, here comes the same play you just saw, but watch Jalen here. This is a really nice job. Okay, the flat defender kind of covers Ian. There's really nowhere to go. So now Jalen is taught to run with the ball, but then the flat defender drops off, and he just kind of basketball passes it over him, and Ian catches it and makes a big run afterwards. Ian's got some speed when he gets going. That's a really good play by Jalen right there, and a heads-up play by Ian also. All right, Z switch. Okay, so this is our outside receiver releasing inside, running through the safety, and Ian's releasing outside, running to the outside third right there. The corner falls back inside with our wide out, and Ian's running wide open down the sideline. Good job of Jalen getting it off after we had a bust by our running back. Should be blocking the end coming off the edge right there. Good physical run by Ian after the catch. So we did find some things in the passing game to at least to allow us to move the football a little bit. Couldn't find much in the run game, unfortunately. They had a lot to do with that. Okay, this is a play action pass off of our power look, which we run in short yardage quite a bit. Ian's on a corner route. Julian's releasing to the flat, so he's got a high-low right here. They drop back to Ian. Nobody on Julian right there. Good job by Jalen getting it to him. And Julian getting in the end zone. Okay, another negative rush right here. This is Cedric Hicks. Okay, again, Luke talked about the young sophomores playing. Cedric kind of bounces back and forth between nose guard and defensive end, and this is him up top. Trying to maintain leverage right there. He actually steps in the B gap and then shoots up the field and makes a really good solo tackle right there. Cedric's going to be a really, really, really good player. There's not a better kid on the team, not a more conscientious kid on the team either. Really good play by him. All right, so this is really this will feature some of the guys in this room. Tatum holding the edge right here. Okay, Thomas again forcing the issue from the outside. Not a lot of headlines in what Thomas is doing, but he allows Brady to come from his middle of the field safety position to make that play. So if you go back to the wide, initially it looks like there might be a little bit of a gash right there. It looks like there might be a little bit of a gash, but I'll show you the end zone. You can see Tatum holds his own on the big 6'10" kid again. Okay, Cooper's in the vicinity. Powers fences it, and then here comes Brady downhill to make the play. And I want to echo what Brady said. You know, he did have a tough time early on. We all had a tough time early on tackling. Nobody's done a better job of improving his tackling, his open field tackling, than Brady Boozer, which is not an easy thing to do when you're isolated in the open field like he is. Thomas Powers is the man in the right place at the right time. How many times have we seen this? How many you got? 3? 2. Well, let's say you got 3. How about that? You got 2. You got 2. That's a big time, right? That's big time, right where he's supposed to be, eyeing the quarterback. Quarterback thinks he had no idea what kind of vertical jump Thomas had right there. See that? He had no idea. There you go. That's big time stop in the red zone, huge stop in the red zone. Anytime you can do that and you get a chance to, oh, there it is. Let's do it. Yes. Hold it. Let's watch that vertical again. Yes. All right, here we go. Another naked. All right. Really a good run here by Ian. Look, watch the move right here. It's a heck of a move in the open field for a big kid. That's a pretty smooth athlete right there. Good help by Ryland going right there. Pretty good hit afterwards. Not great ball security, though. We're going to have to get on for that. Oh, look at that ball security, or lack of. All right, and I put this one in. It's the same play, but this is a different kid. This is DJ Wright. DJ Wright is a senior for us. DJ Wright shows up to work every day, smile on his face, leaves with a smile on his face, doesn't complain. All he does is work, do his job, and he's a great teammate. And he had a nice little run here. Didn't make the first down, but he had a nice little run making the first guy miss right there. So there's another senior we're going to miss, another senior we'd love to send out with a big week. Okay, those are the highlights. Thank you, Miss Powers and Miss Weir, for doing that. I know that was not easy, but y'all were awesome, and it speaks to the program and how special Grapevine is. It also speaks to Texas high school football and how special Texas high school football is and how lucky we are to be able to be a part of it.
You know, we're going into a big week, the rivalry week to end the regular season. But before we look at that, when you just hear what those senior moms are saying, and when you go into the last week, I know you talked to us last week about all I think about is these seniors and some of them having their last opportunity. So what does go through your mind here this last week as you do prepare for the final game of the season?
Well, it is about the seniors, and I've told the team that. I've told the team that after the game Friday night. We talked about it again this morning. You know, it's all about the seniors this year. I asked the seniors, I'm pointing over here because we got 3 of them. I said what one of the moms said, I think Miss Power said, I encourage them to take a step back and take it all in, because there's a lot of things they'll do this week that literally it will be the last time in their life that they do it, you know. And there's nothing like high school football. Certainly, having recruited all over the country, there is nothing like Texas high school football, I can promise you. Any state can say what they want to. There's nothing like Texas high school football. And so everything we do this week is geared towards trying to help these seniors go out with a great memory. And that's what it should be about.
Well, we got the Red Rail Week and Colleyville Heritage on Friday. Tell us the importance of this week, and then the scouting report on what we're going to see on Friday.
Yeah, well, rivalry weeks are always special. There's always a little extra in rivalry weeks. Anything can happen in rivalry games, and usually do. This one dates back to 1996. It wasn't called the Red Rail rivalry until 2006, and that's when the Traveling Trophy started. Right now, Colleyville, I think, has 16 wins, 15 or 16 wins. We've got 13 wins in the series. We last won in 2022. It's not just Friday night. We got a triple header at Mustang Stadium on Thursday night, and it's a big deal for those guys too, as far as bragging rights. So it's a healthy rivalry. We've got great communities, but it is one of those nights when the communities do split, you know, and take a tremendous amount of pride in their programs. You know, Colleyville is right now in the standings, the second best team in the district. They're 7-2 overall, 6-1 in district. Their only loss to Argyle. Calling card is defense. You know, they got 9 of the 11 back from last year. Everybody's experience at this point now going through 9 games, but a lot of experience back on defense, explosive skill players on offense. So really a complete team. And, you know, preseason predictions had them where they're at right now. So they've kind of lived up to the hype. But again, you know, anything can happen in a rivalry game. I've asked the kids to low key it as far as social media is concerned. I've asked them to low key it as far as getting baited into anything that would disrespect our opponent or disrespect the game, really. I just want a good, clean, hard fought ball game, and, you know, may the best team win.
Well, hopefully that's the Mustangs on Friday night, and hope to see all of you here. Let's give it up for ROCK N BREWS once again for hosting us. Thank you so much. Friday night at Mustang Panther Stadium. We will see you for that final game of the season. And then don't forget, next week, our final coaches show will be at Harvest Hall. So thank you so much. Thank you, Rock N Brews, and let's go Mustangs.